Writing Section Directions. The writing section of the TOEFL IBT test measures your ability to write in English to communicate in an academic environment. There are 2 writing tasks. For the first task, you will read a passage, listen to a lecture, and then answer a question based on what you have read and heard. For the second writing task, you will answer a question based on your own knowledge and experience. In this practice test, you will be able to practice writing a response to each writing task and review sample responses. If you wish to compare your responses to the sample responses, you will need to copy your response to another document before continuing. Once you select Continue to view the sample responses, your response will no longer be available. Select Continue to go on. Writing based on reading and listening directions. For this task, you will read a passage about an academic topic. A clock at the top of the screen shows how much time you have to read. You can take notes on the passage while you read. The passage will then be removed, and you will listen to a lecture on the same topic. While you listen, you can also take notes. You will be able to see the reading passage again when it is time for you to write. You can use your notes to help you answer the question. You will then have 20 minutes to write a response to the question that asks you about the relationship between a reading passage and a lecture. You should try to answer the question as completely as possible using information from the reading passage and the lecture. The question does not ask you to express your personal opinion. Typically, an effective response is 150 to 225 words. Select Continue to go on.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
No memoir can possibly be correct in every detail, but still, the Chevalier's memoir is pretty accurate overall, and is, by and large, a reliable historical source. Let's look at the accuracy of the 3 episodes mentioned in the reading. First, the loan from the merchant. Well, that doesn't mean that the Chevalier was poor. Let me explain. We know that in Switzerland, the Chevalier spent huge amounts of money on parties and gambling, and he had wealth, but it was the kind of property you have to sell first to get money. So it usually took a few days to convert his assets into actual money. So when he ran out of cash, he had to borrow some while he was waiting for his money to arrive. But that's not being poor. Second, the conversations with Voltaire. The Chevalier states in his memoir that each night, immediately after conversing with Voltaire, he wrote down everything he could remember about that particular night's conversation. Evidently, the Chevalier kept his notes of these conversations for many years and referred to them when writing the memoir. Witnesses who lived with the Chevalier in his later life confirm that he regularly consulted notes and journals when composing the memoir. Third, the Chevalier's escape from the prison in Venice. Other prisoners in that prison had even more powerful friends than he did, and none of them were ever able to bribe their way to freedom, so bribery hardly seems likely in his case. The best evidence, though, comes from some old Venetian government documents. They indicate that soon after the Chevalier escaped from the prison, the ceiling of his old prison room had to be repaired. Why would they need to repair a ceiling unless he had escaped exactly as he said he did?
Now you will see a question that asks you to summarize the points made in the lecture and to explain how they cast doubt on points made in the reading passage. If this were an actual TOEFL IBT test, you would have 20 minutes to write your response. In this practice test, write your response and then select Continue to see the sample responses. Sample responses will be shown on the right. Read the responses. When you are finished, select Continue. Task directions. For this task, you will write an essay in response to a question that asks you to state, explain, and support your opinion on an issue. If this were an actual TOEFL IBT test, you would have 30 minutes to plan, write, and revise your essay. Typically, an effective essay will contain a minimum of 300 words. Your essay will be judged on the quality of your writing. This includes the development of your ideas, the organization of your essay, and the quality and accuracy of the language you use to express your ideas. In this practice test, write your response and then select Continue to see the sample responses. Sample responses will be shown on the right. Read the responses. When you are finished, select Continue. Select Continue to go on.